Mission start.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, what are we doing today? So today we have, let's try and adjust my lighting a little bit. Today we have this wonderful gold vacuum that I've been working on, and it might look different from the last time you guys saw it. Last time I simply applied the gold, the base gold, which is this Vallejo model color old gold. And now, in the time since then, I've added some shading to the gold using various inks and brown paint, like and some shade oil, like this, Nuln oil, Reichland flesh shade, even watering down this charred brown. And I actually used some artist inks like this one here, Daler Rowney FW Sepia. This is an acrylic-based ink, and it says to shake before use. I never shake this stuff. I'm pretty good about shaking my bottles of paint, but I've been bad about shaking other kinds of paint, so I have to remember to do that. And yeah, so we're going to continue to work on it. It's basically adding all those shades and stuff, kind of deepens the gold color in the recessed areas and adds like a patina. Is that the right word? A patina to the gold. Maybe it looks kind of brassy in some respects, but it's still shiny, as you can see. And I might have some examples of that in process. Like, let's see. Like if you look here, this is one of those canisters that's gold, and I've dry brushed the gold on, and I may have done the brown ink wash on it. I can't really tell, but it's very dark. And then we're going to kind of brush on more of the gold, more of a lighter dry brush to the gold to bring it up to something a little shinier like that. It's a subtle difference, I think, but I think it makes a difference. And yeah, so this is an example of like where we are at right now for most of the pieces. Let's take a look. So yeah, it kind of has this a little worn look. It's not like shiny gold, but I never really liked just flat shiny gold. Even though this is supposed to be like a super pretty model, right, for my Maidroid Chloe, I think adding a little bit of shading, a little bit of, I wouldn't even call it weathering, it's just kind of like shading, adds a bit more depth to the model. And we're still going to go a lot lighter too. We're going to bring up the light a little bit on all these reflective parts, but that's kind of the state that we're in right now. And again, there's some parts where I haven't fully done that, where I haven't fully gotten to that point, such as the actual vacuum cleaner itself. This needs to have some dry brushing done to it. So that's what we're going to do next. Let's do a bit of dry brushing to this part. But generally, this is the state that we're in with the vacuum cleaner overall. And I'm pretty happy with it. It's not bad. So yeah, let's get into this. I've already shook my paint. Let's shake it a little more. Night Trap, looking good. How many paints did I use? So yeah, primarily I've used this. This is the Vallejo model color. I think you recently just bought. Oh, did you get your paint, by the way? Or do I still have it? I still might have your paint. Well, you're probably not going to be using it right now at the moment, but anyways. Yeah, so I use this. This is old gold, and I'm going to use this, shining gold, but I haven't used it just yet. So everything that you're seeing is just this, as well as shading. I've been shading with this stuff, just a little bit of this, and even some watered down game color, because this is glossy, so I thought that might be a good idea, right, to use gloss on the gold parts instead of a matte color. And then this as well. This is like artist ink, brown ink, and I use this too. So yeah, Let's get some of this model color, and we're gonna sort of lightly dry brush these parts. And the idea is to kind of impart... hold on a sec. I think I need to clean this brush a bit. You can tell that the bristles are a little stiff. We want to impart the metal flakes onto the model without actually imparting much of the paint onto it. Like the rest of the paint and the medium, the binding agent of the paint, you kind of don't want to get that. We just want to dry brush on the metal flakes. That's kind of the plan. So let's see if that actually works out. Model color looks like the old GW paint. I think so, actually. I think a lot of... It seems to me that a lot of paint developers have sort of gone through great strides to recreate the old Citadel colors. Meanwhile, Citadel has gone all nuts and, like, you know, created all sorts of different colors. But there's still a market for people that just want all the old stuff, right? It's kind of weird. And even the naming convention of some of these paints are very similar, like old gold, and I'm pretty sure they have something called shining gold, and yeah, if you look at the names of the paint, I think that they share quite a few similarities to some of the old stuff. I'm just cleaning off this brush now. It's a hot day today. Hope everyone that's out at the TennoCon, oh no, not TennoCon, at Anime North are staying hydrated. It's hot. I've only just started streaming and I'm feeling it. Well, maybe I'll turn up my van. Actually, let me do that. Let me do that. Give me a second, guys. And maybe I'll close my window. Seems like it's not all that breezy. It's just kind of hot. So give me a second. Hold up. Okay, just turned up the fan a little bit. Okay, let's get going. So yeah, we're going to be dry brushing some of this gold onto this vacuum cleaner. If we can finish up all the gold today, I would be very happy, because then we'll be just one step closer to finishing this model overall. So here we are. It's hard to even tell that I'm imparting any kind of color, but if we do this enough times, it'll kind of bring it back up to sort of a luster, a shine. And this is, I tend to paint this way with gold and metallics when I can. I'll just sort of do I got a cold drink. Actually, I don't. I got a hot drink. I'm gonna get one though. I'm gonna get one. That's a good idea. Stay hydrated. I kind of like this idea of just dry brushing on the gold rather than just slapping it on. And in fact, I did slap it on. The original base coat of gold was a solid coat that I applied, you know, just normally. But after you do the shading layer, you kind of want to bring it back up to a shine. And rather than just applying the gold straight on as if you were applying a base coat, I tend to do it this way with metal, at least. I don't know. Seems to make sense to me. And I guess you kind of want to follow a kind of direction, right? Like, kind of go down like this, on the parts that go, like, start from the top here and just swipe down. Try not to get like crazy angles and directions. Kind of want to stick to a single direction. Cold drink, cold brewski. Yeah, hopefully everyone at Anime North and the other big events today, hopefully everyone's gonna stay safe. I know Bacon is gonna be there, maybe? I think he said he had other things to do, other matters to attend to, but I think that was the original intent, so we'll see. It's funny because I can't imagine him buying too much stuff. Like, well, Bacon tends to buy a lot of stuff, period. But I wonder if he's actually going to pull the trigger and buy stuff, just because... I mean, what could they possibly sell at an event like this that he doesn't, you know, A, already have, or B, can't get through other means, through Ami Ami or other online services? And he wouldn't have to pay any kind of you know, entrance fee. Of course, you probably have to pay a shipping fee, but still, it seems like a better idea in my opinion, just to get what you want online. There's a Gundam display at Anime North. Do you mean like Gundam Gunpla? Do you mean Gunpla, or do you mean like big, huge Gundam models, or, you know, statues kind of thing? That sounds cool. So here we go, Gunpla. Is there a competition? So I think what you're seeing here is the vacuum, and this is the underside. I've sort of lightly dry brushed it, and I think we're going to do a few more layers. This top side here of the vacuum has more of what we're looking for in terms of like that kind of solid reflective look, but with a hint of shading, and we're going to push that a bit more. And this is the underside of the vacuum after all, so it's not that important, but we'll try and push that a bit more. Night Trap, I'm watching someone streaming the walkthrough. Cool. Kind of like what you did from Pop X. And I imagine there's a lot of people at Anime North. I still think Bacon should have cosplayed though. So one thing I'd like to note as far as like a learning experience goes for me with this model and painting it is that I do not like using blue tack. So I've used blue tack here to sort of affix the model to the stick, and it works in the sense that it's not falling off, but making sure that the blue tack is all gone afterwards is really annoying. Like, it's kind of hard to get it all out. It'll come out eventually if you have like a toothpick. You can kind of work your way and kind of pick at it and get it out, but there's got to be a better way. I'm looking for a better way. It's not that great, and I mean I just bought it from the dollar store, so it's not like a huge investment, but yeah, I don't think this is the way to go. Here we go. Let's take a look. Pop X is small time compared to Anime North. Yeah, it definitely is. But, you know, there is something to be said about these smaller events. I actually do kind of like what they have to offer. I do like the smaller setting. It's kind of like, it's not as overwhelming. There's just enough stuff for you to kind of look at and go through, and then you can kind of go home and enjoy the rest of your day. This is the beverage of the day today. It's matcha. Matcha. It's cooled down a little bit. It's not hot hot. I mean, Anime North isn't the kind of thing that I could see myself like going time and time again, year after year. I'm glad that I went the few times that I did, but yeah, I don't think it's something that I need to kind of regularly go to. It's not like something that I mark down on my calendar like, oh shit, it's Anime North, gotta go every year. So yeah, this is looking pretty good so far. Oh, and we can try and put this thing onto it. And now you're gonna see what I mean about the blue tack. It's kind of stuck to the model itself, and I'm pretty sure I can take it out, but it's just annoying. Looks like it's hot in that building. Everyone is fanning themselves. Ugh. Anime nerd sweat. Get ready. That does not sound fun. Be done, but let's carry on. And I want to examine all the other parts, and let's try and get all this sticky tack off of this thing. I wonder if bacon is going to be there the one day or multiple days. Alright, good enough. Maybe that giant Eevee is bacon. Oh yeah, so I've got all the other gold bits that I've painted, as you can see here. And yeah, all of this needs more love. Just a little bit more love. Everything needs more love. All you need is love. I think it looks pretty good right now, but we can push it. We can push it a little farther. So that's what we'll do. There's the knife. Knife. I think it needs a little more attention for sure as well. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. And this is the collar. You can kind of, I don't need to pull them all out at the moment, but you guys get the idea. Oh yeah, these little bits here, they definitely need some dry brushing, so we'll do that. Okay, let's do that, and probably need a bit more gold. That's the thing about dry brushing, is that you kind of use up a lot of paint, right? A lot of paint gets left on the paper, it gets left on your napkin or whatever. And if you don't like wasting paint, then dry brushing might not be for you, because you kind of go through a lot of paint. I did buy new brushes. Bought some new stuff that I haven't gotten into yet, but we can talk about that a little later. And I did buy a model, but yeah, we don't have to get into that right now. It's not a big deal. I didn't really buy anything too big and fancy just yet. Like, there was a couple models. So yesterday we went to a local hobby store, hobby center, and hobby center is a really interesting place. It's in Ottawa. It's really interesting. They have a lot of models for all sorts of different stuff, including military and comic books and old science fiction TV shows, and as well as Gunpla, right? And a decent amount of Gunpla. And yet, it seems to me that the Gunpla models that they get, their shipments, it's kind of like you can visit and they'll have a certain amount of stuff, and you're like, cool. And then you visit another time, like 2 weeks later, and they've got like so much more stuff. And I feel like I did check their website, and like their newest shipments page but it didn't actually, none of those things actually showed up on their shipment page, like their newest, like what's new section or whatever. So yeah, I was like, what the hell? What is all this stuff? They've got so much new stuff, and I didn't even know. So maybe I'm just not looking at the right page on their website. Let's go back a bit. I like the last song, so I want to listen to it again. Hand-painted gold looks so much better than airbrush gold. Do you think so? Interesting, because like I feel like the results can vary, right? And it depends on your approach and what you're kind of going after. I feel like if you want something that looks like a bar of gold, right? Like a newly minted bar of gold, I think that airbrushing can pull that off really nicely. A really shiny gold, right? But if you want something that has a bit more of like a deeper luster, is that the word? Like a deeper kind of depth to it, then hand painting is probably a good strategy, because you can use a lot of washes. You can kind of go in and you can do what I'm doing, right? and the results are pretty nice. And then of course there's people that hand paint what do they call it, like non-metallic metal, NMM. I'm sure now that you're on Instagram Night Trap, I'm sure that you've seen a number of examples of non-metallic metal painting styles, where people basically apply painting techniques like classical art and illustration painting techniques to convey the sense of reflectivity onto a 2D model. And that's super impressive, and that's something where you might need to use airbrushing to achieve that, but at the end of the day, that is a strategy, that is a style it's going to really rely on your brush control and your understanding of reflections and stuff, which is like, it's kind of beyond me, to be honest. Okay. I'm also kind of choosing where I want to kind of put and dry brush more gold. Like here is a curving part, right, where the light would kind of like bend around it. So I'm kind of choosing this part to focus where I'm dry brushing, right? Because it's gonna just make that one area more concentrated, more shiny. And then kind of coming around to this edge, we'll do it here too. This is an element that kind of goes around the hips of the model. And then here's the other part here, and we'll just do that again. Yeah, I feel like there's been times where I've really wanted a smooth finish, and that's something that airbrushing can really do well. And for metal, of course, I like the smoother the finish, the better it'll look in terms of like reflectivity. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of a situation where it depends on the result that you want. Let's take a look at that. And I feel like in real life it's a lot more, what's the term I'm looking for? To look at this in real life, it seems to me that it's a bit more yellowish than I'm seeing on the screen. I'm looking at this on the second screen here, and it kind of has a colder kind of look to it, possibly due to the lighting. I have my window open, and there's just a lot of daylight coming through, which is like, the sky is blue. Sky is blue. Did you guys know that? Alright, so I'm just gonna keep on hitting up this wheel here. The wheel I've attached to the model because I want to kind of get a sense of the raised part of the wheel, and the underside of the wheel we can leave a bit more shaded. One thing I'm a little concerned about is this model. If I open up this part here, you can see that there's these holes, right? Kind of like the barrel of a gun. And that's where you're supposed to put these canisters. I have those canisters off to the side. Supposed to put them in there. However, I feel like because I've been painting, we might run into a situation where the thickness of the canisters has now gotten to the point where they're not going to fit flush. They're not going to fit nicely into those holes. So if that's the case, that's fine. We don't need to, like, it's not that necessary. If worse comes to worse, I might have to, like, go in and drill these holes out by, like, an extra, like, you know, millimeter or something, right, to make it smooth. But you know, I kind of don't want to go that far, so we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. We're just doing like a circular motion here. Circular swirling motion all around. And again, we're just kind of dry brushing and imparting the gold flakes onto the model without any of the medium being applied. It's kind of like this. I've been constantly dry brushing this one area, right? And the more I dry brush this one area on the page, the more solid and opaque it looks, right? The gold. And the same applies to the model itself. You just continually apply the dry brushing to it, and eventually it'll become nice and solid. If you were to look at this model with the naked eye, you might see, well, let's close that up. Hold on. Oh, I'm noticing something here. Oh, this part is kind of not attached nicely. Hold up. Yeah, this part goes here. Oh, shit. It came off. Oh, I think this goes like that, and it kind of came off. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hold on. Might need to whip out the instructions real quick. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, I think that the extra thickness of the paint has kind of caused some issues, so let's try and address that. That's one thing that I'm still kind of learning too, is when you're painting models, model kits, gunpla kits, plamo kits, you still need to account for the fact that they're going to be posable models, and I'm not really used to that coming from Warhammer models where, you know, they're just in a static pose. You don't really have to worry about that. So I'm still trying to keep that in mind. And I can tell this plastic is you know, it can break, so I'm just being very careful. And worst comes to worst, I might just glue all of that shut. We'll see, because it's not really It's not really that important. And like I said, the canisters might not even fit in that one spot anyways. So, okay, let's actually disassemble some of these parts too so that we can kind of get a better look and a better handle on what we've got going on here. Let's take out the wheels. Okay, here we are. So this goes here. Okay, yeah, that should clamp down actually, and this kind of goes through. So let's see if we can put this through. And yeah, it's a matter of the thickness of the paint that's causing a bit of an issue. And that goes down like that. Okay, I think we're okay. And again, that might be something where I'll go back and glue it. Glue at least this hinge part, not the moving action, but this upper part that kind of clamps down. That might be something where I'm gonna glue that, just because I can tell through use of this motion, it's going to kind of separate. But let's just leave it closed for now. As I said, it's not all that interesting. There you go. Now we can put back the wheels. And I think we need to go back to dry brushing the wheels. Let's go back. This, the model here, it does feel a little tacky to the touch, and I think that's due to the glossy nature of the finish. It feels a little tacky, but it's not like sticky icky. I think that is pretty good. Yeah, you guys are probably seeing how reflective it is. It's sort of reflecting off of the lights. And if I kind of hit the wheel and angle it, you guys can see it's kind of reflecting the light, which is cool. That's what we want. But again, like I said, I think we can kind of push it further, so that's what we're gonna do. But I need to inspect all of these parts that they've at least reached a point where I'm happy with the current application. Kind of happy with where we're at right now. And I think we are. If anything, the tops of these wheels, I can kind of get a solid coat on it. We'll do that. I wonder if there's going to be any like news or announcements and reveals at Anime North. That's always kind of fun if you get to be one of the first to see something new. It is Anime North, it is Canada after all, so you know they don't tend to have big announcements at that sort of thing. That's reserved for the American anime conventions, but you know, it is the biggest Canadian event. I did see just this morning that there is a trailer for Vinland Saga Season 2. And I've seen a bit of Vinland Saga. I haven't watched it all, nor have I watched or read the much of the manga, but it looks pretty neat, pretty cool. Vikings are quite popular these days, it seems, with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, with God of War, and what else? What else? Oh, there was the television show. I think it's just literally called Vikings. I've seen some of that. But Vinland Saga seems really good. Seems like people are really hyped for that. And the animation looks great. It's from Studio Mappa. And I believe Mappa did some... What have they done? I think they did some... Attack on Titan? I'm gonna check. Let me check here. Hopefully they're... Hopefully they're not like that studio that did Food Wars, Shokugeki. Let me see. What did they do? So yeah, I'm just painting the tops of the wheels so that it's like a nice solid color. The rims, I should say. Or the tread? Maybe that's the tread. You can tell I know a lot about wheels. Okay, Hell's Paradise, Zombieland Saga, Yuri on Ice, Dodo Hidoro. Oh, they've done a lot of good stuff. Who's... Which is the studio that did Food Wars? That's the one you need to watch out for. And they also did One Punch Man Season 2. It seems like people are kind of down on... Oh yeah, Mappa did the final season of Attack on Titan. Okay. I'm just checking out the wiki right now. Yeah, that's something that it seems like a lot of anime fans pay attention to, what studio worked on what. That I have to say I'm not really too knowledgeable in that area. I know like Madhouse, because they're kind of big, right? And now what I'm doing is I'm kind of picking out the gold parts. Picking out some of the gold and the edges. And I'm not dry brushing it this time. I'm kind of going in and deliberately painting it. I'm going to use the long side of the brush to get all these edges. And anything like the bolts, there are some bolts here. We're kind of picking out the details. And I want to be careful not to get paint on any of the hinged parts, so I'm already experiencing some difficulty with that. And again, these wheels, they don't really roll like a toy would, right? So we're going to kind of paint them and assume that that this is the position that they'll be in permanently. This weapon can disassemble and combine with another model kit to make a big weapon. However, I don't really have much interest in getting the other model, getting the other weapon and assembling it and stuff. I'm not really too interested in that, just because that other model is just so similar to the one that I have right now, that one that I'm currently working on. It uses like, I don't know, like let's say 80% the same parts, if not more, that I'd effectively be painting the same model again, so I'm not too interested in doing that. Not painting, but building. This isn't the best brush to be doing this with. Again, it's a little thick. It's a little worse for wear, but yeah, it's fine. I'll just use it. That's what I do. I always make comments about how this particular tool isn't the best tool to use, and then I just continue to use it anyways. Okay, let's see. I think this is from Undertale. It's a remix from OC Remixes. I've kind of recently rediscovered OC Remixes. I was like, wow, I remember this site. So many cool Street Fighter remixes that I used to listen to. But this time around, I'm not really looking for the Street Fighter remixes. I'm just looking for anything that's cool. You know, obviously these are all fan-made remixes, so people tend to work on the soundtracks that mean something to them or that are really popular. So, you know, obviously you're gonna get a lot of Nintendo-based stuff, a lot of Mario remixes, a lot of Final Fantasy remixes, but not a lot of remixes for the things that I might be personally interested in, like like Eco or anything like that. No, you're not really gonna find too many people remixing Eco, although I did find one, or Shadow of the Colossus or anything like that. Okay, not bad. Let's take a look at this. Again, these are all segmented parts that can be sort of recombined, as I was saying, with another model kit. However, because of the combining nature of it, these little segmented parts, I don't love how they look when they're just assembled and you can see like the seams like that, and it doesn't quite look like fully straight, and there's like that gap there, rather noticeable gap. I don't really love that aspect of this model. At the same time, I don't really feel like I want to go in and adjust these parts, or rather glue them or anything like that, and make it like so that I can't change it back ever. I don't really want to do that. Okay, so I think I've applied this basic gold, the base gold here, so I think it's time to get into the other parts of the model, get into the start kind of getting into the highlights, and we're going to use shining gold. This is a classic baby Citadel paint, shining gold, the little face, red sun face, Citadel color. This would have been from the 90s, anywhere from like the late 80s to the 90s, and yet I still have a decent amount of it, and I'm very glad for it. Let's see, is the music? I think we're done this album, so let's change up the album. There we go. Okay. the other thing that I kind of need to keep in mind is how these parts sit on the model, and where the light is going to come from when it is on the model itself. That's going to kind of inform how I go about highlighting it further. I don't think we need to really put these parts on the model just yet. Something like this headband, I would need to do that just because I'm not really sure if it goes this way or this way. So I'll have to put it on the model's head so that I can get a better idea. But I'm just taking a look at some of these parts and what they need. Taking a look at what little additions, what little tweaks do I need with the base color at the very least. For example right here, let's use this brush. It's a little better. The very top, you got like a pooling of the ink that created like this brown spot that we don't really want. So we're just gonna kind of hit it with a solid bit of gold and kind of tone that down. And we'll do the rest. We'll do that to the rest of the model here. That's the danger of dry brushing, by the way, is sometimes you get a bit of a grainy look. And you kind of don't want that, especially with metal. So you're always kind of trying to keep in mind like how dry is your brush. The technique is called dry brushing, but at the same time, I don't think you want it to be super dry. And you don't want it super wet. It's very... I'm not an expert, of course. I'm still learning too, so... And one thing I'd like to try, and I was talking about this with Knot Slide, and he bought some dry brushing brushes, which are effectively like makeup brushes. And actually, there was someone else who recommended using makeup brushes. I forget who, but yeah, I was like, that's a thing. That's a thing I need to start looking into, because yeah, makeup brushes are very soft. And so you can really get a nice result when you're dry brushing, because you will kind of not get as much of that look of that grainy look, because the bristles are really soft, I guess. There you go. Okay. I think that's practically everything. I've been painting for I've been streaming for just about 1 hour, minus the startup time. So I think I'm going to take a break very soon. And when I get back, we'll get back to painting, of course. And like I said, I do have some pickups that I'd like to go over, so we'll do that. We'll do that too. Not quite yet, just because kind of in the middle of painting. So we'll wait a wee bit. And yeah, let's take a break. Nature's calling, guys. The matcha, the Tokyo matcha. The matcha. Alright, it's break time. So I'll BRB. Here, let's get some different music while we're on break. What's good? What's good? Street Fighter. Wonder Boy, which is free now, if I'm not mistaken, on Epic Games. Wonder Boy, or one of those games, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, let's take a break, and I'll be back in about 5 to 7 to 10 to whatever. There we go. Break time. Alright, I'm back from my little break. We're still painting. We're still painting some gold, as you can see. Gold! I love gold! And I got myself a cold beverage. Take a look at this. This is the beverage of the day today. I really don't know what this says. But it looks interesting. I really like this logo here. Let's try some. It's A lemonade drink of some kind. Oh, Haiti. This looks Chinese, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Where is this from? I'm gonna say China. Let's say China. Oh yeah, product of China. There you go. Let's try some of this. Is it carbonated? Oh shit. No, it's not carbonated. Let's take a little sniff. Yeah, it's black tea based. I think it says somewhere back here. Yeah, black tea and lemon juice. Pretty refreshing, actually. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. What were we doing before I took my break? Painting gold? Yes. We were definitely painting gold. But now we need to probably work on the golder... the brighter points of gold here. So let's mix some of this shining gold with our old gold. We're mixing the old and busted with the new hotness. Let's get some of this. And again, this is old paint from the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. And yet it's still good. The bottle is still keeping the paint fresh after 30 years or something. And that's kind of incredible when you think about it. And I'm just mixing it all together. These are two different paints from two different manufacturers. Let's see if they make friends. They probably will. They'll probably be friendly. And while we're at it, let's mix a bit of retarder here. I think it's almost time to water my plant here, by the way. My little Korok? Is that what they're called? The spirited away little guy. My little plant guy. By the way, because I bought that thing, I wanted to look at more terrariums on Instagram, and man, there are some absolutely beautiful terrarium builders, terrarium planters out there on Instagram, making beautiful stuff, and it's kind of inspired me to try it myself. I really don't know how, other than not approved GW technique. They're gonna come after me, the cops, the GW cops, the Citadel cops. Mixing two brands? Oh no. I'm not even painting a GW miniature, and they're gonna get on. They're gonna come after me. That reminds me. I was reading an interview with someone who was applying to become a master builder at Lego. So this was like maybe an American who wanted to work for Lego in Denmark, in Billund, Denmark. And one of the questions they ask is like, what are your feelings about gluing Lego pieces together, chopping them up, painting them, using other brands of Lego, right? That's one of the questions they ask. And my thought was, what they want to hear is like, I'm opposed to all that. I just like to use Lego in its purest form, right? But this guy actually, he was like, nah, I don't really care. I just use whatever's handy. I'll cut up Lego pieces if I need to. I'll use other brands. I'll glue stuff. Anything goes. There's the jail. And they were like, yeah, that's great. That's fine. That's totally fine. Because they want you to be as creative as possible. And, if Lego themselves, they're not making the parts you need, if presumably because you're working for the company, you're applying for a job there, you can possibly, you know, petition to make a new piece, right? They want you to, yeah, they want you to think within the system, the Lego system, but they also want you to think beyond it too, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, we're just getting these little points like the rivets and any part that's going to catch the light. Or kind of get like a little glint of light with this mixed gold, this highly illegal mix of two different brands. Don't tell Games Workshop. You're gonna come after me. Actually, while I was on my break just now, I was browsing the Games Workshop website or the Warhammer community site, and I saw that they're publishing a book called Warhammer World Dioramas. It's actually in its 3rd edition now, and it's exactly what it says. It's a book that compiles all the dioramas that are at Warhammer World. And a number of the dioramas that I had seen as a kid from White Dwarf magazine or within the army books themselves or the rule books, a number of those dioramas are there on display, right? Some of which are from the legendary Games Workshop painter, sculptor Mike McVeigh, heavy metal painter. He made so many dioramas that I remembered as a kid that I would just stare at in White Dwarf magazine, including the confrontation between the Emperor and Horus, right? That's a pretty good one. The Eldar Exodite versus the Space Marine Chaplain on a bike. The Saurus, the Conquistador Imperial characters that are like invading Lustria and the Lizardmen. I used to stare at that diorama like in the photos just like forever. And yeah, apparently they're in display at Warhammer World in England, and now you can get a book that compiles all of them with like nice photographs and stuff. And I was like, shit, that is awesome. I'm down for that. Sign me up. Well, it turns out I'm reading the article. Here, I'll bring it up. I'll read it. Ah, crap. Did I not save it? I'm reading the article and it's like not available in the US, Germany, Canada, practically everywhere else in the world. It's not available. It's basically just for UK. I'm like, what? Why are they doing this? Why even advertise this? I feel like I was better off not knowing such things existed, because now that I know and I've been denied it, I feel like a hollow shell of a man. Where does it say? Let me see. I'll scroll down a bit here. You'll be able to pre-order this book with an adult ticket for the Warhammer World exhibition. So you can get this book if you go to Warhammer World. But I mean, if you're at Warhammer World, you're gonna get to look at those exhibits, those dioramas in person. So this is effectively a souvenir in some regards. And it says here, please note that it is only available in English and will not be released in the USA, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand. What the hell? I mean, there's probably going to be some way to get it on the secondary market. You can get in touch with someone in jolly old England. But goddamn, that's so annoying. So as you can see, I'm just kind of trying to lightly dab things like the bolts and just get a hint of a highlight in there. And we can even get higher. We can even get a higher sheen, a higher shine to that by applying another kind of highlight. Queer Unicorn Modeling, hi. Hey, how's it going? How are you? First time chatter, how's it going? What are you up to? So, Unicorn here has been creating some awesome Votom models and just really amazing stuff. I have not been able to check out a stream as of yet, but I will definitely come by at some point. How are you doing? Oh, you just woke up? Wow. Oh, that's right, you're in Japan, right? So yeah, that's probably also why I've had some trouble catching your streams, is that you're on the other side of the planet. But yeah, how are you doing? We're just working on this vacuum here. It's a vacuum from Max Factory. What is it called? Maidroid Chloe. And we are almost to the point where we're done with the gold, but you know, you can always kind of go over and tweak things. That's how it is for me, at least. Never really done. Jose! What's up, Jose? How's it going? So my understanding, Jose, is that you are back in America now? Am I correct in saying that? I know you were... what's the right word here? You were on a training mission? You were on a mission of some kind? I don't know what the right terminology is, but I was seeing some of your pics on Instagram. I thought that was pretty neat. How are you? Yeah, and that's the sloth. I got a little sloth pal here. Unicorn, 4 in the morning. I've been working on setting things up. Oh, for your stream? Cool. Okay, so let's take a look at the gold. My innocent hand picks. Damn, you found hand picks? So here's the gold. This is all what I've been doing like the last day or so. I'm pretty happy with it right now. This might just be it for the gold on this vacuum cleaner thing. That might be it. We'll have to do a sealer on it. For Unicorn or Jose, if you have any recommendations as to how to coat this, do you think I should use a gloss or a semi-gloss? What do you all think about that? Because yeah, I'm not really sure what to use. I welcome your input. Your innocent handpicks. They're not innocent. Excuse me while I have some popcorn here. Oh yeah, my beverage. Check this out. I'm not gonna lie. Half the reason why I bought this was because this mascot image here just made me laugh. Look how upset the lime is compared to the lemon. Yeah, I made this sloth PNG tuber before I left for my break, for my trip to Atlantic Canada. I just got back a couple days ago, the other day. I just got back from it, and I took like another day from streaming, and yeah, I started my first stream back yesterday or the other day, and now I'm back, and It's good, it's good. I'm glad to be back and talking with all of you out there. Unicorn. For Votons, it's always gloss. I often shade with clear black on the edge. Clear black on the edge. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'll do. I mean, this is a metallic. This is like shiny metallic, so if I were to use gloss, or no, a matte top coat, it would kind of bring it down and it wouldn't be as shiny, and I guess that's not a good thing. I don't know. I know yeah, I've had some other streamers here, some other builders helping me out and advising, and it seems like semi-gloss is quite popular. I've never tried that myself, and actually I'd have to use spray paint because I don't have an airbrush. So I wonder if I can even find a semi-gloss spray. I actually bought some semi-gloss just in a bottle for hand painting, but I don't know if that's a good idea to use, because I feel like it might turn out uneven. So yeah, we're just painting the gold bits here, and this is like sort of like a diamond shape, so we gotta kind of pay attention to the planes. Yeah, happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you all are doing well, having a good Saturday. Seems like there's a lot of things happening this weekend. There's TwitchCon in Amsterdam, which seems really cool. I think Amsterdam's just cool in general, I guess. And there's also Anime North for Canadians out there. For any Canadians, there's Anime North happening this weekend. I have a longtime friend of the channel, Bacon Beer Can. I believe he's there right now. Hopefully he's having a good time. Gonna get this here. So for this part in particular, I've kind of deliberately painted parts of the metal and shaded it to create the contrast. Like if you look on the underside, right? I applied a heavy coating of the brown shade just on the underside, and that creates like a very sharp contrast with the rest of the model. And similarly, if you look on the underside of these pipes, I've kind of painted it dark, and we want to get that contrast. That's how you get like a reflective look. If you're kind of going into hand painting, you kind of want to do that. If you find a really good metallic paint that's straight out the bottle, I don't think you'd really have to bother doing this, but I was like, let's practice. I want to practice. I was actually pretty happy with how this paint looks straight out the bottle, but I figured let's just try. Let's try and mess around and see how it looks. And so now we're gonna paint like just a thin line of this highlight on the edges and like the curving part of the tube here. And you can actually use the light from your painting light to kind of help you indicate where that highlight's going to be. not bad, not bad. Yeah, so yesterday I was at the hobby store. It's the first time I've been to the hobby store in a little while. And I mostly just bought supplies. I was kind of like thinking, do I want to buy a model kit? I'm actually not sure what model kit I'd even want. You know, in this hobby store, actually, Vanilla, how's it going, Vanilla? How are you? What's going on? What is going on? How are you today? Yeah, I was just saying I was at the hobby store, and I was just like, I need to get some supplies, so let's do that. But I also kind of want a model just because that's how it is when you're in this hobby. You just always want something new. But I know I had already bought like a big model last month, actually two big models. So I kind of didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I was just kind of thinking, I don't know, what do I want? What do I want? So yeah, we can kind of get into that a little later. What I bought at the hobby store. But I can tell you what I didn't buy. I was looking at all this stuff, and so much of it was like, oh, damn, that's cool. Do I want to actually spend the money on it? I'm not sure, right? It's like I said, I already spent some money. They had the Optimus Prime. Eddie, what is up? What is up, Eddie? How's it going? How are you, Eddie? Let's take a look at this. Vanilla, glad you're streaming because my migraines are killing me and I need some distraction. Oh, okay. Here, let's distraction. Woo, distraction. Let us distract you with this steampunk looking bow bonnet thing, which I'm pretty happy with. It's coming along pretty good. And Bacon is here. Bacon, how are you, Bacon? Bacon, are you not at Anime North? How is Anime North? Give us a live report right now, Bacon, on the comings and goings of Anime North. Have you seen any Sailor Moon cosplay? What is the most common cosplay that you have witnessed thus far? And Epo, I'm Epo. Eddie, I got that old gold because I liked how it laid out on the vacuum. Gonna go on a painting spree soon. Cool, I'm actually looking forward to that. That'll be really fun to watch. Some painting from Eddie. I feel like I've only seen you build and customize models. I don't think I've seen you paint models thus far, so I'll be very excited to see that. You suck though, Eddie? I don't know. I have my doubts. I have my doubts that Eddie sucks. How could it be? So here's the vacuum, by the way. This is the vacuum. It's very close to being finished. And this is not the straight up application of gold from the last time you saw it, Eddie, by the way. I've added layers of shading and stuff using some washes and inks like this, as well as inks like this. But we've kind of gotten to the point where it's like this, and I'm pretty happy with it, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, it's far more pronounced if you can see it here with the shadows and stuff. Eddie! Bacon, the internet is trashier, so I probably can't stream. Oh, that's too bad. I have seen some people streaming from... oh, and Mary Trunks is here. What's up, Mary Trunks? I didn't want to miss you there, Mary Trunks. Hello, everyone. Everyone has arrived, and everyone is here. Hello, hello. I'm very happy to see you all. Again, this is only my second stream back from my trip to Atlantic Canada? So I feel like it's still been a while. I'm a little rusty, I guess, but I'm happy to see you all once again. And I hope, Vanilla, your migraine subsides. That sucks. I actually really hate migraines and getting a headache. Like, you know, everyone gets headaches every once in a while, right? But it just really puts me off from doing anything. I'm like, blah, I don't want to do anything. And Bacon, you're lining up to get in? Damn. Eddie, you haven't done a painting stream in over a year? Wow, that is a long time. it's one of those things where you kind of want to always just do a little bit every once in a while, so you don't kind of get out of practice. I feel like for me, once I paint, like I might go a few weeks or a few months without painting or drawing, but once you get back into it, it's like you never left, right? And you can kind of get into the zone, and it's really great. Mary Trunks, it's the last weekend before I start work on Monday. Oh, right, from paternity leave. Correct? Okay. Okay, so I'm noticing a few things that I'd like to fix about how I've gone about doing this gold. Can I fix it, is the question. Let's see. Okay. Eddie, I did finish the GPO one off stream. It's better than most real grades because it doesn't fall apart. Yeah, so it seems to me like, so again, like as you know, Eddie, I've kind of come back to this hobby after a very long time, and which is to say the hobby of building model kits, and I don't remember real grades being a thing when I took my long leave of absence from the hobby. But when I got back into it, it was the real grades that kind of interested me the most, just because it seemed like they were a good size and a good price, and they had a lot of great detail, right? But yeah, the more I looked into it, it seemed like they kind of had their own set of problems, including what you just mentioned. I was like, oh. And I know my brother, Night Trap, he's actually bought a few real grades now, but he's built just one of the very earliest ones, and it did have a breakage on it. It was like the Zaku, Char's Zaku. But yeah, it seems to me that some of the newer ones are better, I think. I think. Eddie, if you want to experience a good RG, get an Eva. I think you do a great job working magic to it. Magic. Yeah, that might be neat. You know, I don't know jack about Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm gonna expose myself right now. This is all. I'll probably have to revoke my anime fan card. But yeah, I don't know really anything about it. Although I did have a poster of. Oh no, I've just unlocked a memory, guys. I've unlocked a core memory. I had a poster of. Is her name Ray? I had a poster of her in my room because I thought she was so cute and sexy. Oh no, core memory unlocked. I put that poster in my room. I must have bought it at Anime North or something, which is going on right now. It's still happening, Anime North. And yeah, I thought she was hot. And I didn't know anything about the show. I thought that the Evas themselves looked pretty cool. But I was like, I don't need to know the show. I don't need to know anything about this show. I just need this poster. I just need this poster and some alone time. But yeah, that's the extent of my knowledge. Let's go like that. I think we gotta kind of really push the contrast here. Push it, push it. This is the knife that I actually went in and sharpened myself. I sort of created a profile for the blade because it was literally a blunt knife, which looks super lame. It was more blunt than some Lego sets, to be honest. So I went in and basically applied my knife sharpening skills, such as it is, because I'm the resident knife sharpener in this house. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I actually know what I'm doing, beyond watching like a couple of YouTube videos on how to do it. And yeah, I wanted to create a sharpened edge, or the appearance of a sharpened edge. So there we are. Eddie. Yeah, it's true. Can't deny it. So there we go. It looks more knife-like, I guess. It looks sharper. It was really bad. This thing looks super lame at first, but I'm a little happier with how it looks now. And it does have that kind of shiny look to it. If I have 3 lights, like 2 coming from this direction and 1 pointing straight down. And as I move this, it kind of has a nice reflection on it. It's kind of catching the light in different ways and different angles. That's what you want, I think. So, pretty nice. Eddie, there's a thing called ERGS, which is Early Real Grade Syndrome. Oh, they don't hold together well. Early Real Grade Syndrome, okay. I'm suffering from Early Real Grade Syndrome. Sounds like an anime thing. EGS. After 15 it gets better. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so for my brother's birthday, I got him Zeong. I don't know what number Zeong is, but Not Slide was saying that was a pretty good one. Zeong. Even if you're the kits are amazing even if you aren't a Zeong an Eva fan. All right, so tell you what, guys, let's take a break from painting gold. I mean, we are very close to being finished. Oh, Eddie, by the way, do you have any recommendations? I've asked a couple people in the chat already. Do you have any recommendations on how to top coat this? Would I top coat it with gloss or matte or semi-gloss? And if the answer is semi-gloss even something that they sell out of a can? Because I have no idea. Please let me know, because I'm not sure what to do for that. Okay, let's put all these little bitties away, and we're gonna. Yeah, I was a Ray main. I wasn't into Asuka. It's funny because my name is Ray, too, so it's kind of weird like that. And let me tell you something: when your name is Ray, and then Star Wars comes out, and there's the new Star Wars movies come out, and the main character is called Rey, and she has the same spelling of name, it can cause it's a little weird, it's a little annoying, but you know, I lived through it, and now it's the time for me, Ippo Rey version. Okay, let's take a little break from all this